Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. We're gonna have a late dinner this evening. I know some of you all you eat late. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And we're about to get into this live broadcast. And I hope that you all had a good day, my brothers and sisters. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Earlier I tried to go live, but I had some technical difficulties, and I hope that I don't experience none right now. And we're about to shortly get into tonight's broadcast, and I hope that you all are ready for it. Good. Let me go out and I hope that you all see me real good. I don't know what's going on, but having some technical difficulty. But anyway, I think that I'm good now, my brothers and sisters. Come on in for this good dinner tonight. And I have to apologize. I guess the devil don't want me to talk to you all about certain things when it comes to being positive. How about that? Well, anyway, for those of you, this might be your first time looking at me. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship pertaining to that of a man and a woman that should believe in what God sees as a relationship between a man and a woman. When we go to the book of Genesis, God created a man, Adam, first, and after he created the man, Adam, he created the woman, Eve. And after God created the woman, Eve, he brought the woman, Eve, to Adam. And Adam said, in the presence of God, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. And so it was. So if you believe in any other type of relationship, my brother and sister, you have what is called a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do. But if you're looking at me, at this dinner table tonight, I talk strictly about the relationship between that of a man and a woman. With that said, we're about to jump into this particular topic tonight. And tonight's topic is, can a successful woman find a good man? Think about that. Can a successful woman find a good man? How you doing, Sister Mary Kay? I see you are in, and the rest of you sisters and brothers, coming in. Now, sisters, just think about it. When I say sisters, I mean women that follow God. That's what I mean, and it doesn't mean just black women. It goes over the color spectrum and different income levels and all that. When I say sisters, I'm talking to you all. So, brother, all I need for you to do, brother, is just to sit back and enjoy the meal. Just be a little quiet, brothers. Just be a little quiet, and maybe you could learn something from, being at the dinner table tonight. And sisters, you need to really, really listen up. Now, again, the question is, can a successful woman find a good man? First of all, sisters, when I call you sisters, you are already successful. You know why you're successful? Because you are daughters of God. That's the first thing you need to recognize. When you look in the mirror every morning, when you walk by a mirror, you don't even have to go by no mirror. You are a successful woman when you have a relationship with God. But I did a little research, and I looked at the world point of view, what is a successful woman. And in short, this is what I discovered. It's a successful woman, becoming a successful woman requires you to be confident. This means doing what it takes to boost confidence on a daily basis, displaying confident body language and speaking with confidence. That's the world point of view, okay? But there's another point of view too. Now, God have a point of view of what is a successful woman. And God gives a full picture of a successful woman. When God gives a full picture of a successful woman, this is what I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs, and there's some inserts that I'm going to bring by you. So from God's point of view, this is a successful woman. And we go into Proverbs 31. It starts off with verse 10. It say, a wife of noble character who can find. She is worth more than rubies. So, sister, if you're a daughter of God and you would like to be in a relationship, if you would like to be in a relationship with a man, you should focus on not being a girlfriend, not being a boo, not being someone that somebody just pick up the phone and text you or call you when he get ready so he could put you on the schedule. That's not you. Okay, this is not you. So you have to be wife ready. You don't want to be no girlfriend. You don't want to be a woman that get dragged along for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. No, sister, you have a purpose in life and you don't want to waste your time and you don't want to hurt your heart. Because you got value, because it say that she is worth far more than rubies. And if you do get married, sister, this is what God say about you. Her husband have full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. Another thing that God say about you, sister, she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. So when a man gets you, sister, he knows, he's confident that you will not set him up to hurt him or whatever he doing, because he know that God brought you into his life with a purpose. He brought you into that man's life to share what purpose God put in that man's heart. God put you in there because he created you for the man. God put you there because God said it's not good for a man to be alone. With you, sister, a man, whenever a man gets you, that man gets something worth more than gold. He gets you. He gets that virtuous woman. Only God present to a man a virtuous woman. The world cannot produce a virtuous woman. Only God can produce a virtuous woman, because you, sister, you are a daughter of God. Another thing, she gets up wide, still night and provide food for her family. She always thinking about her family. After God, she think about her husband, her children, and her family. That's one thing about this woman. And not only that, she consider a field and buy it. Out of the earnings, she plants a vineyard. That means that this woman, she is very smart. She knows the value of resources. She knows the value of money. She's not one of those women that waste resources. If she's a godly woman like you, sister, you will not waste resources. Your husband can trust you with the money. Your husband can trust you with all the assets in the house. That's what he can do. You, sister, as the Proverbs said, you consider a field and buy it. Out of the earnings, you plant your vineyard. Again, you are very wise. Worldly women aren't wise. Worldly women can be called smart, intelligent, but you have what is called wisdom. You have the ability to see things from God's point of view. And another good trait about you, sister, if a man see you and lock in on you, it say that she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hand to the needy. You care about other people. You care about other people. It's not about me, myself, and I. You care about people that you don't even know. You care about strangers, and I have said it before. In the book of Proverbs, it states, don't be forgetful to entertain strangers, because we have entertained angels unaware. And what does that mean? That means that angels can take on human form, and you don't know what a real angel look like. A real angel could take on human form. That's why the book of Hebrews said, don't be forgetful to entertain strangers. And you have a tender heart, sister, okay? So any man that is able to get you into his life, he got a plus, especially if you care about God, you care about him, you care about your children, your family, your extended family, and strangers. You care about them. And when you talk, this is what the Bible says. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. What does that mean? That means you be very selective at what words come out your mouth. You are not a gossiper. You are not a woman that's excuse me. How you doing, Sister Fountain? and the rest of you sisters out there that's watching me, you speak with wisdom. You know, you don't have to use slang words. You don't have to custom put your point across because you have wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the ability to see things from God's point of view. So you utilize your knowledge, your understanding, and your discernment. You are a wise woman. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idle. That means that she is on point when it comes to home life. She's going to make sure that her house is in order. I'm talking about you, sister. You going to make sure your house is in order. And it said, and does not eat the bread of idleness. You not a lazy woman. That's what it really means. You are not a lazy woman. You are consistently busy. You are always focused on your goal. You're focused on God. You're focused on your husband. You're focused on your children, your extended family, your family, and strangers. It also say this about you, sister. Her husband arise and call her blessed. Her husband also praise her. That means that your children, they're going to always acknowledge you. They're not going to wait till Mother's Day to acknowledge you. They're going to acknowledge you because you're going to find your children doing something for you throughout the year. That's just what type of woman you are. And not only that, your husband said, her husband also, and he will praise her. That means your husband, if he's a godly man, he's going to do what is called just because. Just because it's you. He doesn't have to wait for the holidays. He don't have to wait for Mother's Day. He don't have to wait for the anniversary. He doesn't have to wait for your birthday. He doesn't have to wait for Valentine's Day, Christmas, all that. No, he's going to do a lot of just because it's you, because he loves you. Because the Bible clearly tells you, your husband, if you plan on getting married, your husband, he is commanded to love you. He's commanded to understand you, because you are the weaker vessel. So the man you get is the man that God going to cause to find you. And that's the man that's going to love you, a man of God. You also know that charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeing, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. You don't depend on how you look. You look nice, but you don't depend on how you look. Because you know what you realize, sister? You realize that you're going to age. And you're going to age gracefully. Your true beauty is on the inside. And your true beauty is Christ in you, the hope of glory. So that's what your true beauty is. So the man that is fortunate, now not fortunate, but the man that is blessed to get you in his life, he's getting a good woman. They're not saying you a perfect woman, because the man is not perfect, but the man, whoever you get married to, and notice I say get married, because sister, you shouldn't be putting yourself in a position to be a girlfriend all your life. You should not be putting yourself in a position to be somebody that he could run through it after 12 a.m. in the morning when he texts you and said, what you doing? Or he called you and said, can I come through? Or can you come over here? You don't need that kind of man. You don't need no kind of man that's going to hide you. You need a man that's going to not afraid to bring you out and doesn't mind that people know about you. Now the question back is this: can a successful woman find a good man? Just think about that question. Can a successful woman find a good man? Let's go to God's word and let God answer that question. Let's let God, the Father of God, he's going to answer that question. Can a successful woman find a good man? I'm going to tell you, I'm working for station GOD, and I'm just a news reporter. So let me report this news to you. As it is written in Proverbs 18:22. Again, Proverbs 18:22. Proverbs 18:22. It says, whomsoever finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord. So the answer is no. A successful woman cannot find a good man. From the world viewpoint, the world would tell you to do like Jolie Watley had a song out years ago, I'm looking for a new love, baby. You don't go that route looking for no new love. You don't go around saying, I can't find no good man. It's not your job to find a good man. Because the Bible clearly say, whosoever find a wife, find a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord. So what that means, God is going to strategically put you in a position where the man find you. So don't get petrified or afraid if you're aging, sister. There are some men out there that state that when a woman get 25, she have hit the wall. Don't worry about that crap. Don't worry about it. God will strategically put you in a position for a man to find you. So my advice to you, sister, is to live and love God. Do what God will want you to do. And then God knows the desire of your heart. If you have desire to be in a good relationship, because sister, you don't want no worldly man. You see, a worldly man is strictly about me, myself, and I. That's his love language. But a man of God love language is we, us, and our. There's a distinct difference. There is a worldly man, and then there's a spiritual man. You, sister, need to be prepared for a spiritual man. And like I said, the love language is, all you have to do, sister, is utilize your 2 ears and your mouth. You cannot go by your feelings, sister, when it comes to a man. You have to go by your discernment, not your feelings. And you have to depend on the Lord to shine that spotlight, that flashlight. And we're not talking about Parliament. We're talking about the Lord. You got to let the Lord shine that light on that man, and the Lord or spirit in you going to let you know whether that man that's in front of you is a man of God or is he coming from the adversary, Satan. So don't go by your feelings, sister, when you give your essence, your 100% into a man. So when the right man find you, sister, the right man that find you, well, let me put it this way. Let me retract. A flesh man, he wants what you have. A spiritual man needs what you have. This is distinct different. A worldly man wants what you got. A spiritual man needs what you have, you. So a spiritual man looking for you. A fleshly man looking at what can I get out of you. And most of the worldly men, and I'm being generous, I always be generous. Worldly men, and I always use this mathematical thing or a scale. Well, let's say a scale from 0 to 10 out of 10 million. Worldly men, 8.5. They just want you for your body. That's all they want. They want your body. And then before they get to your body, they got to have a strategy to get to you. They're going to try to have a strategy to get your heart. And then after they have that strategy to get your heart, they're going to move through your will. And after they move through your will, they're going to get in your head. And once they get in your head, they get to your body. And after they get to your body, if you have resources, they got all of you. And some of you sisters, it's sad to say, some of you sisters, you are dating a man, a worldly man, and your soul tied to him. Some of you sisters have messed up and got with a worldly man. You married a worldly man because you thought, and you didn't realize you thought that you could change him. But you can't change a man. So that's why you have to depend on your discernment when it comes to a man finding you. Because God will set up the situation, the life situation, whereas that man find you. Now let's study this one particular woman. I'm going to give you 7 points about this one particular woman. And you all are familiar with this woman. And who is this woman? The woman is Ruth. We're not talking about baby Ruth. We're talking about Ruth in the Bible. There are 7 points that I'm going to make about Ruth. And I hope that you can apply it to your life, sister. Number 1. When it comes to can a successful woman find a man? Remember I said no. The man has to find you. So this is how you being put in a position through life circumstance for a man to find you. Number 1, sister, you have to learn about God first and foremost. You know that some of you sisters, you were raised up, your parents tried to do the right thing for you. They would tell you stuff like, go to school, get your education, don't depend on a man, and all that kind of stuff. They said some stuff that was well-intended, sisters, but your mother or your father, it's a possibility that they didn't have no relationship with the Lord. I hate to say that, but they tried their best. But that's, but if it comes from a godly mama and a godly father, they would not say, first of all, try to get your education, don't depend on a man. No. Godly parent would try to mold you how God molds you. And how does God mold you? He molds you. It's a passage in God's word. It's called the Proverbs 31 woman. That's the pattern how God will mold you. So if your parents mold you based on that blueprint in the Bible, that's how you're supposed to be. You understand, sis? You're supposed to be molded into a Proverbs 31 woman. That's a successful woman, a Proverbs 31 woman. Just because the woman may have a business, just because the woman may have money and the world is success, that's not success. That's success according to the world. Now, a godly woman can have all that stuff, but the most important thing about a godly woman is she have a relationship with God first and foremost. And that's what Ruth did. Ruth learned about God first. That's number one. Number two, what Ruth did. She had a good relationship with a godly woman. Ruth had a good relationship with a godly woman. As it is written in 1 Corinthians 15:33. 15:33. It said, be not deceived. Our evil communication corrupt good manners. What does that mean? The company that you keep. That's exactly what. If you run loosey women, sister, they going to convert you to be like them. It's just all to it. If you, sister, hang around negative women, your family women, your friend women, if you hang around them, they're going to teach you evil things. You will not never win. You know why you will never win? Because the Bible clearly say, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupt good manners. You could be a good woman of God, but if you get with, and this is what they say, the world say, you could tell a person about the 5 people that they hang around with. Sisters, I could learn a whole bunch about you based on who you hang around. You don't have to say anything. Because the saying, birds of a feather flock together. That's true for men and women. All a man has to do is study who you hang around with. And you see, you're not going to hang around no one that you don't have nothing in common. So, sister, you cannot tell a man, like if you have some loose friends out there, if you have some friends, you go tell this man, they all about getting men money. They doing all that twerking and all that kind of stuff. They doing all this crazy stuff. They drink heavily and all that kind of stuff. And you supposed to be the angel in the group, right? Because you see, those women know more about you when you're not around that man. Because for you to have these type of women that you hang around with, you got something in common. And like I said, they say, and I'm not the originator of this, they said birds of a feather flock together. You never see an eagle walking with chickens. You never see an eagle walking with chickens. Eagles fly high. They don't come down low. They live up high in the mountains. That's where you're supposed to be. If you're a daughter of God, you are a female eagle. You're not want to say, daughter, you're not a chicken. You're not no chicken. You're not in a KFC. You're not like that. You are up high in the sky. You are a female eagle. That's where you're supposed to be. That's how Ruth was. Ruth hung around a godly woman. Who was the godly woman that impressed Ruth? Her mother-in-law, Naomi. Naomi was a godly woman. So Naomi influenced Ruth. So you should be around godly women, not worldly women. One of them gonna persuade you, sister. Whoever the company you keep, you going to cohabitate your relationship with them, meaning you're gonna stay with them. So you can't hang with those worldly women, and you think God gonna cause a good man, one of his sons, to find you. God doesn't work like that. Number 3, what you can learn from Ruth. She wasn't looking for a man to take care of her. Let that sink in. Ruth was not looking for a man to take care of her. Ruth was on her own grind. I have talked about this before. Ruth was on her own grind. But Ruth was not a boss woman. She didn't go around saying she a boss. She didn't do that. Ruth didn't walk around talking about I'm a strong, independent woman. She didn't do that. Ruth was one of God's daughters, so she was humble. She was not prideful. She had confidence, but her confidence, she was a meek woman. Another thing, number 4, she was at the right place at the right time for Boaz to find her. She didn't find Boaz. She was at the right place at the right time. What do I mean by right time? She was in the place where God strategically placed her. When she went over there and started working on Boaz's property, she was going to work. She wasn't thinking about who owned it and all that kind of stuff. She was going to make a living to take care of her mother-in-law and herself. That's all that was based on Ruth's mind. Taking care, having a relationship with God and taking care of my mother-in-law and me. So what happened? God strategically put her on Boaz's property. And we know Boaz had it all together before he met Ruth. And that's another thing, sister. When you get with a man, he can't be coming up. He needs to be already together. He needs a relationship with God. He needs somewhere to stay, not with his mama, not with another woman, not in no boarding house, not in all that kind of stuff. He needs to have his own. Especially if he's talking about marrying you, he needs to have his own. He needs to have wisdom, not intellect. When he speak, he don't have to speak with, he doesn't have to be articulate. When he speak, he's supposed to speak with wisdom, which show that he has the knowledge, understanding, and he also has discernment. So, sister, you supposed to get with a man that has wisdom. You supposed to be with a man where people look at him and say, it's something particular about that man. He's not a worldly man. And they're going to be, when you with this man go around your family and friend, they're going to see something unique about that man when you introduce them. He's not a street man. He's a man of God. He don't even have to tell them, I believe in God, I believe in God. He ain't got to tell everybody that. Based on how he talk and how he move, they're going to be able to tell. And let me tell you something, and I always use this illustration. When you take this man around your family and friends, guess what? Most of the men that are going to be there probably are not going to do this. And it's something this simple, my sister, something this simple. When this man and you are about to eat your food, let's say, for instance, what holiday is coming up? The 4th of July, right? The 4th of July. You take this man around your family and your friend. You single sister. You take this man around your family and your friend. Well, all that good food at, right? All this good food, and guess what's going to happen? When he about to bite into that hamburger or whatever you put on his plate, you know what he's going to do? He's going to pray over the food. And other people, they're going to be shocked because most of them are accustomed to, men and women, they're accustomed to just going and eating. But when they see that man praying leading the prayer before you and him eat, that's going to cause attention. They're going to look. Even though they're going to be drinking the beer and everything, they're going to look at it because they know everyday thing. They're going to watch how that, they're going to listen to how that man talk to you, and they're going to see how that man behave around them and how he treats you. They're going to be learning all about that man in that one setting. The men going to look at him, and they're going to try to weed him. They're going to try to weed some stuff out of him, meaning they're going to try to find out what he's about. Or can he hang with them? That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be interrogating him. And then the females over there, they're going to get you in the corner, and the first thing they're going to want to know, if you're taking them around a lot of your worldly family or friends, they're going to want to know one thing: what does he do? That's all they're going to be thinking about, what he do. They mean the money. They're not going to ask you, first of all, who is he, where he comes from. They want to know, does he have the bag? But you're not like that, sister. You will have a special man that God going to engineer to be around you. Remember, Ruth was at the right place at the right time. And when she was at the right place at the right time, guess what happened? That's when Boaz showed up. And when Boaz showed up, he inquired about Ruth. Out of all the women that was on Boaz's property, because Boaz had it together, out of all the women that were there before Boaz, probably those other women, they wanted Boaz. But he didn't pay no attention to them. You know why Boaz probably didn't pay no attention to those other women? Because he did not see that they had the Spirit of the Lord in them, probably. But when he seen Ruth, the Bible, if you ever notice this, my brother and sister, the Bible never say how Ruth looked physically, did it? Just look at this. It did not say nothing about how Ruth looked physical. Now check this out. When we go back up to Proverbs, when we go to Proverbs 31:30, check this out. It said, charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeing, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Just look at that. Charm is deceitful. She wasn't a fake. And beauty is fleeing. She probably looked nice, but she wasn't all about camouflaging herself with some stuff that wasn't really her. Now, when I say that, it's nothing wrong with women wearing makeup. I want to stress that. Nothing wrong with it. But sister, don't put a whole bunch of makeup whereas you look like Bozo the Clown. Or you could work at McDonald's and you could be the second virgin of Ronald McDonald. If you're going to put something on, just make it be light. Because let me tell you the truth, sister. Let me tell you the truth. The more natural looking you are, the better it is. Because guess what's going to happen? If you get real comfortable around a man, he's going to start seeing who you really are. Because he's going to catch you some days when you don't be all dolled up. A natural beauty woman is good. Like I said, if you're going to wear makeup and stuff, just sprinkle a little on. If you have to do it, just sprinkle. Don't go somewhere and get all that glamour stuff because that's not really you. That's temporary. That's not. Be who you are. That's all I can say. Be who you are. Number 5 again, she allowed Boaz to make the first move. Boaz checked her out. He even asked the man that was working over her, the man that was working for Boaz. Boaz inquired about her. So a godly man, he's going to do the research on you. He's going to do the research on you. Like I did. I did research on Cinderella. I sure did. I did some research on her. And I don't know whether she did any research on me or not. I don't know. But I know I did some on her. But let me tell you this. And I have said it before and you have heard it before. I told Cinderella, I said, you look good, but I got to know how you think. What did I mean by that? I need to know, was she a spiritual thinker or was she a flesh worldly thinker? I didn't tell her what I was looking at. I would just say I got to know how you think. So my thought process is I need to know, is she following God or she not? Is she all the way in God? Is she pretending to be God, be with God, or she not there at all? That was very crucial that I need to know. It was very crucial that Ruth was the right woman for Boaz. Because Boaz had his stuff together. And another thing, a godly man does not depend on what you have. Listen to what I'm saying. A godly man doesn't depend on what you have. He depends on who you are. Now, if God gives you some things, assets or whatever, that comes with the package. But he's more concerned with who you are as a woman. Are you a woman of God, one of his daughter, or are you for the streets, a daughter of the devil? Are you a Delilah? Or are you a Jezebel? Or are you a Ruth? Or are you a Sarah? Or are you a Mary? Those type of case. Or a Esther. So you're either going to be a spiritual woman or a worldly woman. You're going to be one of the two. So Boaz got to know Ruth. And guess what? Ruth started doing her background check. You know what Ruth did? She went, this is number 6. Ruth got advice from a godly woman that had experience with a godly man. Listen carefully. Ruth, number 6. Ruth got advice from a godly woman that had experience with a godly man. She went to her mother-in-law, Naomi. Now, sister, when it comes to a man, by you going to your friends and they say that they profess that they know God, but you see their lifestyle, or you even go to your own mama and you see your mama lifestyle, some of you, it's sad to say, and this ain't no black thing, this go over the color spectrum. Some of you, sister, you see your mama going through different men. It's bad to say if they're single. And some of you sisters got a married mama that got a boyfriend, and you know about it. How you going to get advice from your own mama if she like that? Or how you going to get advice from your sister friend that running men? That all about men's bag, the money bag, the ATM machine. You can't get nothing out of those type of women. You need, if you're going to get anything, you need to depend on God first, and you need to associate yourself with godly women. Godly women aren't perfect. Like men aren't perfect. But godly women, the one thing they got over a worldly woman, they trying their best to follow God through his son, Jesus Christ. So you need, if you're going to talk, you need to talk to a woman that got experience and not for the street. Because she's going to tell you some godly things. She's going to give you some godly wisdom. Especially if she's an older woman. She's going to give you some godly advice. And number 7. Remember I said, can a successful woman find a good man? Remember I said no. Because a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. God prepared you, sister, to be that Proverbs 31 woman. That's what happened. God prepared you for the day when that man find you. You did not know it. But what you was doing, you were following God. God seen you when you went through bad relationships. God seen when you was hurting. God seen when those tears were rolling down your cheek. God seen you when you were talking to your friend and your family about this man. God seen how this man was dogging you out, or men were dogging you out. And God seen when you be at home holding your pillow and your pillow is wet from tears. God seen it when you had to go to the doctor. You didn't know what was wrong with you. You let a no good man or the flesh stress you out. Now you're on antidepressants. Because you for some reason, when you got with the wrong man, he took your attention away from God. You were trying to please that man. You tried to make that man love you. A worldly man, sister, let me tell you this. He might be nice. He might look good. He might have everything going on. He might treat you nice. Just because a man treats you nice doesn't mean he's a godly man. Worldly men know how to treat you good. They do. They know how to treat you good, but they can't treat you great. You see, only a godly man could treat you great. A worldly man could treat you good, but great exceeds good. So God prepared you to be that Proverbs 31 woman. And when God prepared you to be that Proverbs 31 woman, guess what? He's going to orchestrate. Have you ever seen an orchestra before? You know, the conductor that had that little stick, and you have different people that playing different instruments and stuff. They knew their parts, right? Guess what? God is like that. God holding the stick. And he's orchestrating things. Just like that. If you old school, y'all remember when Lawrence Welk used to be on TV, Lawrence Welk, when Lawrence Welk said, a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. Then they said, doom, da-doom, 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 da-doom. You, God, orchestrate this man finding you. That man didn't find you on his own. That man did not find you by coincidence. That man did not find you by luck. You did not go by no tarot card. You didn't burn no sage. You didn't go to no palm reader. God brought that man in your direction. And when that man laid his eyes upon you, and when you laid your eyes upon that man, you knew instantly it's something about that man. And guess what? That man looked at you and he said, it's something about that woman. I got to have her in my life. I need her. I want to speak the love language to that woman. I want to talk to that woman. I want to tell that woman it's all about we, us, and our, baby. Or whatever pet name he give you. You don't want to listen to the worldly men. Like I always say, worldly men, I always say me, myself, and I. The worldly men, those are the narcissists. Those are Satan's sons. And I always say this, it's not going to be but two men that are going to always approach you. There's no in between. You have the sons of Satan and the sons of God. What you don't see, sister, is this. It's a spiritual thing that's going on. It's some hierarchy thing that's going on. You looking at that man, but that man is guided by a spirit. He's not guided by himself. That man is guided by someone. He's going to either be guided by Satan or God. Satan is like an angel of light. He will make things look good. Look how he hoodwinked Eve in the garden. And that's how these worldly men are. They're going to come to you with that fleece on, that sheep fleece, to get you. And you're going to feel like you Goldilocks. You remember when Goldilocks went to her grandmama's house? And that wolf was disguised as the grandmama. What did Goldilocks say? Oh, grandmama, what big eyes you got? What grandmama said? What the wolf said? The better to see you. Oh, grandmama, what big ears you got? The better to hear you. Oh, grandmama, what big teeth you got? Oh, the better to eat you. That's how those worldly men are. They wolves in sheep clothing. You need someone that, like a shepherd, like Jesus. You need a man that's going to shepherd you. Not the shepherd, that's Jesus. You need a man that look at you like you a precious sheep. What does a shepherd do for a sheep? The shepherd look out for the sheep. The shepherd leads the sheep to still water. If you all didn't know this, do you not realize that a sheep will not drink water that's moving? The water got to be still. That means peace. And green pasture. What is green pasture? The shepherd take the sheep where they're going to be fed and taken care of, that man will take care of you. And he will comfort you. What it said that rod and that staff, they comfort me. This man will comfort you. He will know how to talk to you. He will know how to move around you. He will know that you're a woman. He will know that you're not a man. He will treat you as the woman you are. So can a successful woman find a good man? A worldly woman, she could find a man. She could find a man. She could go, like Joe White said, go search for a new love. They could do it. And that's all they get, just a man. They get a worldly man. But you, sister, you can't find a man. The right one will find you. Will he come knocking at your door? Maybe. He may, you don't know. And I have you this situation before. And I'm going to tell you, some of you have heard it before. Let's say you're at home. And I'm going to end this on this. Let's say that you're at home. And you looking at Lifetime or one of those girly things, right? Or you looking at Home Improvement or something like that in your ice cream on a Friday. You ain't going nowhere. But you cuddled up for a Good Friday cause you know your girlfriend, they finna go to the club and then they're gonna be on Facebook and you're gonna see, y'all ever see on Facebook where they have wine glasses and then the camera be going in and out like that? That's how your girlfriend gonna do. All they wanna do is go drink. All they want to do is go drink and run men's. That's all they want to do, and twerk a little bit. That's all they want to do. But you decide to stay home. And when you decide to stay home, you heard your doorbell ringing. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. And you wondering, who's at my door? And so you go to the door and you looking at peephole and you see this guy. And you said to yourself, you said, self, I don't know this guy. Wonder why this guy is ringing my doorbell. And you said, who is it? And he tell you, he give you a name. He give you a name like, I'm John. What do you need, John? You talking through the door. What do you need, John? And his car broke down in front of your house. And you see it smoking, right? You see it smoking. And he said, my car broke down and I left my cell phone at home. Can I use your telephone? And you look and you say, okay, he needs help because you actually see his car. So you say, okay, and you help him. Remember, he's a stranger. Now, I'm not telling you, sister, just open your door for no stranger. Don't get me wrong. I'm just using the illustration, right? So you see that this man needs help, okay? A stranger that needs help. So you open the door and you say, you peep out, you know, you got that little chain on the door. You said, I'll bring you the phone. So you give him the phone and you hear him calling State Farm. You hear him talking to what his name? What that guy name on State Farm? Jake. You hear him talking to Jake from State Farm, right? And after he got finished talking to Jake from State Farm, you feel kind of comfortable, right? And your discernment say, there's something about that man. It's something about, so you and him conversate, right? And then the next thing you know, while he wait for Jake from State Farm to get the record out to pick up the vehicle, you invite him in for a glass of lemonade because it's hot out there. So you and him start conversating, and it's like you knew him for a long time. The conversation was flowing. You didn't have to guess on what topic to talk about. He didn't have to guess on what kind of topic. He didn't come onto you like, you sure look good, you sure fine, or you dating and anything. He kept the conversation neutral and just, it was just flowing. And you said, no man have never just talked to me like this. No man ain't never talked to me without trying to get in my pants the first night. That's what you're going to be saying. And he just talking about stuff. So Jake from State Farm, he get this man to come and get his car. He get in his car, but before he go, you and him decide, hey, can we meet? Can we talk again? So y'all do it. And the next thing you know, he don't want you for no girlfriend. The next thing you know, he don't want to just hide you from people. He wants to show you to his family. He wants to show you to his friends. and whoever, he want you to go to worship, public worship with him. He don't just want to take you to the clubs and all that kind of stuff. He want to take, now it ain't nothing, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying nothing wrong with the club, but you better be, don't do that. Don't just hang out at the club. It ain't nothing good really there. That's another story. But anyway, he thinking about you. He's not hiding you. And then sooner or later, this man gonna say, look, I want a serious relationship with, I've been thinking. And he gonna say this in a short period of time. I've been thinking, I want a serious relationship with you. As a matter of fact, I want to commit to you. Then shortly thereafter, he tell you, he don't ask you. He said, look, I'm gonna marry you. He not gonna get on his knee and say, I'm gonna marry you. Only, and you know, some of you all are not gonna like what I'm saying on this. A man only get on his knee to Jesus. I don't know where that knee part come from. Western stuff. You only bow the knee to Jesus. You only, that go for man or woman. You only bow the knee to Jesus. It might look cute, but anyway, he gonna say, look, I need you in my life. I see that where we can do this, it's gonna be all about us. We can do it. And you pray to God, and God gonna give you a sense of peace. If that man is not for you, guess what? You're gonna feel uneasy. But that man is for you. And when that man is for you, the Lord's Spirit gonna say, do it. After you ask God, God gonna say, do it. You might run it by your mama, your girlfriend, all that, but the real answer gonna come from God. That's who you go to first to see what God think about it before you go tell these other people. And then you say, I do. And when you say I do, let me tell you this, sister, it's not gonna be perfect. Because he's not a perfect man, you're not a perfect woman. You're gonna have storms in the relationship. You're going to have storms in a relationship. But you could weather the storm. You know why you could weather the storm? Because Jesus is the captain of the ship. I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters. Sorry for the problems earlier. So I had to make up for it. You know, I had technical problems. So I'm sorry. It was out of my hand. But I love you, brother. I love you, sister. You all have a good night, okay? I love you, love you, love you. Thank you. Good night.